Today we've got 10 gourmand but still very mass-pleasing and easy to wear men's fragrances. A lot of times people do want to start diving into gourmand scents, and by that I mean fragrances that kind of have this delicious or edible smell to them. But one of the main concerns is going to be wearability, usability. You want to make sure your investment is going to be something that's worthwhile, and these are all still very easy to pull off in social situations. We're not going too out of the box here with something that is super challenging. We're trying to keep it pretty easy. We do have all designer fragrances here, and we're trying to keep it more affordable as well, so that way really anyone can kind of get into these if you have any sort of interest and you're wanting to get some kind of delicious and sexy fall fragrances on the ball here. So we're going to start this one off with FERRAGAMO UOMO. This one has tonka bean. It's got sweet notes, literally. There's kind of a nice coffee accord in here as well. Smells great. This is probably one of the main fragrances people think of when you're talking about just an overwhelmingly sweet men's scent. This is so sweet that a lot of people wouldn't even consider this to be a men's scent. I mean, this could probably be unisex. In fact, I know it could be. So really, no matter who you are, if you like how this smells, you can wear it. So that's a plus. That's pretty cool. If you just like sweetness and fragrances, this is going to be for you. If you don't, well, then you're in the wrong video altogether, because all these are going to be. But if you're especially picky about it and you don't want something that's too overwhelming, then don't go for this one. Out of everything here, this is going to be the most overwhelmingly sweet. It's also going to be the most juvenile and youthful. So we've got other options for you. But if you're a younger guy and you want to get attention and smell good and have a good performing scent in the fall winter time for a lower price, check this one out. Next, we have a new release, which has become a favorite of mine, Gentleman Reserve Privé, or Gentleman Eau de Parfum Reserve Privé, I guess is how you would call it. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Reserve Privé is fine too, but it's kind of like a flanker of a flanker. You know, you've got the EDP, and then this is a flanker of the EDP, because it doesn't smell anything like the EDT or any of the others. So it's a little bit confusing, but it all makes sense. This one has whiskey and chestnut, which really is what makes this fragrance, along with the iris. And that iris is common within the lineup. So what you get out of this one is a little bit of a boozy accord, and then the chestnut note, which gives it this kind of almost, I don't know, texture similar to something like Replica by the Fireplace. This kind of cozy, sweet smell that it literally smells like you're just snuggled up, you know, by some sort of nice, strong heat source, like a fire, a campfire, next to a wood-burning stove, something like that. And then you get this chocolatey accord in here, mixing with the iris and the whiskey. So there's a whole lot of this kind of delicious gourmand sexiness going on. And this has quickly become one of my favorites out of the entire line. And I think this may just take the place of the original Eau de Parfum for me. That's how good it is. Talk about a home run flanker. Let's go over to a cheapie. We have ROCHAS Man. This one here, you know, it's got that bottle going on, right? But is what it is. This is a cappuccino scent to the highest level, and it smells amazing. I'm a big fan of it. Really, really nice. And this is about $20 online on discounters, which is really impressive given what you get out of this one. It's all about that coffee cappuccino accord. I'm a big fan of coffee in real life. You know, I love drinking it. I drink a cup or two every morning. I love the smell of it. It's one of my favorite things I look forward to, is just smelling it, along with, of course, drinking it as well. And then coffee fragrances, also a big fan of. You can really go down the rabbit hole and start getting into a bunch of niche ones that cost a lot of money. One of my favorites is Killian Intoxicated, but you do have to pay for it. This one here is an easy one to throw in your cart, you know, throw in your next order. If you're buying some other stuff, you're hardly going to notice that price difference, especially if you're placing a big order. And it'll be a pleasant surprise for you on just how good it is for a low cost. Another one that I think is very much gourmand leaning, it is HARAMAINDETOURNOIR, and more specifically, this is the Parfums de Marly Latent DNA. $29, 100 ml. Latent is pushing $300 for 100 ml, or 125 ml, 120. So we're talking some immense savings here. By far the best latent clone available on the market. And I mean, you cannot go wrong with this stuff. It's got that apple cinnamon type of smell going on. And that to me is just fall. This is fall in a bottle. And it has like a gourmand smell to it. You know, it's delicious smelling. It's addicting. It's one that you can just not get tired of. I could wear this stuff days in a row, this DNA, and not get sick of it. There's something about it, man, that's truly special. This one's definitely gourmand. And to that note, it's also very mass-pleasing and easy to wear. Let's keep it moving with Hugo Boss Bottled Absolute, the 200 ml bottle. This one has some heft to it. This one's got plum, it's got apple, there's some cinnamon in here as well, some lavender. So this is gonna be about as close as you can get to Boss Bottled Intense, which they've discontinued and is super, super hard to get now. And I'm talking EDP as well, which is a shame because I think it's great. It's the apple pie fragrance. Everyone knows it is that. And while this isn't exactly the same, of course it's not going to be because that would have been super redundant within the line. It's very close, and that's why I like it. You know, it gives you that kind of fall time gourmand apple pie smell, but with a little bit of a plum twist. Really, really well done here and very, very easy to pull off. Everybody knows this guy, Ultra Male by Jean Paul Gaultier. It's got apple, it's got pear, cinnamon, and vanilla, along with a nice lavender accord in here as well. Another one that's absolutely delicious smelling. I mean, the sweetness that this one packs is next to nothing as well. So I guess I kind of, forgot about this when I was talking about Ferragamo UOMO being the only overwhelmingly sweet one. My bad. This one is also overwhelmingly sweet, and they're probably tied. I don't even know which one would take the cake, honestly, but they're both very, very sweet to the max, just in different ways though. This one here, it has that kind of fruitiness from the pear. You don't get any fruitiness from Ferragamo UOMO, but also still very gourmand. And it just, to me, is another one that smells like fall in a bottle. That's why I chose it for this video. That's why I chose all of these, because they all have a fall smell to them, and they're also gourmand. They're also mass-pleasing and easy to wear. Next up, Stronger With You Absolutely by Emporio Armani. Now this one does have that chestnut accord that I was talking about. It's got some rum in here, some vanilla. It smells fantastic. Easily my favorite Stronger With You flanker. I like the addition of the boozy accord in here. I think it just does the DNA a justice kind of here. It just does better in most situations because it kind of makes it a little bit more mature compared to the original EDT and Intensely. Also for me, performance is just above average. It's one of those weird situations where I never got good performance from the original. A lot of people did. I unfortunately did not. The Intense version was better, the EDP, but this Parfum really does it the best for me, and it's my favorite one. Now, if you like vanilla and fragrances, and I'm not talking like, oh, you just like the note here and there as a supporting note, but you like vanilla-centric fragrances, you have to get this one in your collection at some point. I don't care when, but you got to do it at some point. The sooner the better. And this is Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Vanilla and benzoin along with some kind of a ambroxan accord in here, giving it a bright twist. It's really what we have going on. And such a nice syrupy sweet vanilla with a dusty benzoin kind of surround to kind of balance it a little bit so it's not straight up syrupy sweetness and it's not too overwhelming. You get kind of a powdery smell, a little bit of tonka bean as well. And for the price that this one goes for, usually it is a no-brainer. Again, if you like vanilla-centric fragrances. For me, I like vanilla, the smell, but also the taste, you know, using vanilla extract and some things and just kind of using it for that, putting in like hot chocolate and stuff like that, right? There's a lot of things you can do with it. And this one here is definitely super delicious. Running down to the end, we have L'Instant de Guerlain Eau de Parfum. This one is a patchouli bomb, but it's got cacao as well to a heavy extent and some other powdery nuances. So it sounds kind of weird, right? But it really does have this delicious, addictive, and just super mystifying smell about it. I don't know how to describe it any other way other than this is truly one of a kind. The first time I smelled this one, I knew it was something special, and you see the hype around this as well, so I knew going into it I was probably going to like it. But I mean, there's really nothing else out there like this. I mean, you smell it and it's just like, wow, that is truly something unique. I love how it's kind of chocolatey, but then aromatic, but then kind of sweet and dusty and then powdery. There's some green aspects about it as well, but it's primarily very kind of dusty, chocolatey, sweet. It smells fantastic. And even with all that said, it has a mature, refined, and upscale smell to it. So it's very wearable, especially for higher end events. We're going to end this one with Tom Ford Noir Extreme. This is the Parfum version. Definitely would take this over the EDP any day now. I love parfums, and I love what they typically do with parfums, and that's take a DNA that's already been very successful and that's been out and about for a while, and they're able to tweak it and improve upon it. And this one here, you get overall some more richness, you get more performance out of it. Some may not like it just because it maybe makes it a tiny bit more challenging, so to speak. I really don't think this DNA can be that challenging though. Still get that signature Kulfi note, which is a very dessert gourmand smell in here, and I just think this is definitely a great flanker, and for a lot of you, maybe the way to go. If you want to get the most performance possible, you're okay with spending a little bit more money when it's all said and done, but ultimately you'll have to use less of this one, and you may just be more happy with it overall. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. 10 gourmand, but still very wearable and mass-pleasing fall fragrances. I will link these down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.